Today we're going to dive into the ultimate guide for half marathon training. These are the real, hard-hitting, hard-earned facts that no one tells you can make or break your race. I started running casually about 15 years ago. Nothing too serious at first, but over time it became a part of my weekly routine. For the past decade and a half, I've been doing some combination of weight training and running about 5 to 6 times a week. It's been a cornerstone of my lifestyle, helping me stay grounded, sharp, and in shape. This year, my brother, my girlfriend, and I, we decided that we were going to run our first half marathon. We wanted to do something that was really going to challenge us, something that we've never done before. A half marathon was what we all decided on. Even after years of consistent training, there was a major learning curve. Preparing isn't just about showing up and logging the miles. It's about strategy, recovery, mindset, and avoiding the kinds of mistakes that can basically derail all of your progress. So today, I'm breaking down the 5 tips that help me train smarter, stay injury-free, and actually enjoy this process, which is the most important part. These are the things that I wish I knew sooner. Create an outline for your training. Before you ever lace up your shoes, take the time to map out what your training is going to look like. Whether you're following a 12-week plan, 10-week plan, or you're customizing your own plan to fit around your schedule, having structure keeps you consistent and gives you a way to actually track your progress. Don't wing it. Plan your runs, your rest days, your cross-training days, if you're gonna do any. Having an outline not only reduces the stress, but it also helps you avoid burnout and overtraining. I know for me, at the end of the day, when I get home from working my 9-to-5 job, I would just pull up my schedule and I would look at the run, I would grab my shoes, and I would go out the door. This just got rid of any type of confusion about what my run was gonna look like for that day. I didn't have to spend time after I worked all day and come home and research this. Having a structured plan reduces a lot of the stress that comes with training. Your equipment matters to an extent. You don't need the most expensive gear. You don't need to buy a fancy new watch or a heart rate monitor, but a few key pieces will make a major difference. And the first one of those will be your running shoes. You can always go get properly fitted for running shoes. There are a million YouTube videos out there on what types of runners should use which type of shoes depending on the terrain or the walking style. And if you're curious about these channels, let me know down in the comments. I'll get back to you and let you know which ones I've used in the past to find the right shoes. Your equipment also is dependent on where you're doing your training. For us, we did our training in Columbus, Ohio in the springtime. And if you're familiar with Ohio weather at all, you get some days where you have 70 degrees in the spring, but then you have others where it's 40 degrees. So I had to get, a few different options. I think I ended up getting 2 long sleeve shirts and 2 short sleeve shirts. This is actually one of the shirts right here that I like to go running in, and a pair of shorts and a pair of tights. I also invested in a few different things that I like to bring with me on my runs that help me stay hydrated, help me get the right amount of electrolytes and the right amount of energy. The first one is these Honey Stinger energy waffles. These things are amazing and they're pretty easy to eat even when you're in the middle of an intense run. So I would definitely recommend this. You can keep them in your pockets or you can get a belt as well. I did invest in a belt as well as $15 on Amazon. Let me know if you want to know the link, and I'll leave it down in the comments for you. And the second thing that I got that I kept in this belt were these little energy chews. There are 6 of these in each pack, but you only take 2 of them for each run that you're doing. They also have energy blocks that have caffeine in them. These ones don't, but my girlfriend used the energy ones throughout training and she loved them. They taste really good, and in the middle of an intense run, nothing hits quite like an energy block. The third tip, and this one was probably the most impactful for me throughout my training, and that is getting other people around you involved in some manner. The 3 of us, when I ran this, as I mentioned before, I had my brother and my girlfriend that were also training for the half marathon, and it just built this little mini community where we could come together on the weekends or at the end of one of our long runs, and we could kind of talk about all of the challenges, the triumphs. Oh, I had a great run today, or this run was really tough. Whatever the case is, it just builds a little mini community where you can bounce things off of each other and just unpack all of the things that are happening to you during training. It just makes it a lot more fun. Now, not everybody has this type of group around them. Maybe you find somebody that wants to go with you once a week on one of your runs, and so now you have a running buddy that's helping you train, or you have a group chat where you just throw it out there and you let everyone know, like, hey, I'm gonna be doing my first half marathon. I just wanted to let my friends know if anybody wants to to send some love my way, let me know, because those little pieces of motivation, they go a long way throughout a long training program. So try to get as many people around you involved as you can. This one was probably the second most impactful, I would say. Remember that recovery and rest are part of your training as well. Most people only focus on the runs, on the pace, the distance, the speed work, but the real gains come from how well and how quick you can recover. Prioritize sleep, stretch regularly, take your rest days seriously. And if you can, incorporate things like foam rolling or yoga, maybe even massages. I don't know, that might be a little too much, but anything that you can do to improve your recovery, it's going to make your runs during the week or whenever you're doing them that much better, because you just feel good, you feel restored. So super important. It's also important to remember the difference between being tired and sore and being injured. Soreness and fatigue, that's part of training. Injuries are not. If something feels off or painful in any way and it's just not going away, unfortunately, you need to listen to your body. The goal for any training is to get into the best shape possible, but to also do it injury-free. If you do get injured at any point in your training process, take the time necessary to heal. 1 or 2 missed weeks will not derail the entire training process. It may set you back a little bit of time, but it's not going to set you back in the same way that trying to work through an injury will. Enjoy the process. It's easy to get caught up in your pace, in your goals, and in comparing yourself to other people around you that have done a half marathon in the past, or they're currently getting ready for their own half marathon or their own race. But at the end of the day, this is about doing something hard for yourself and proving to yourself that you can do it. Take the time to appreciate the small moments. You know, maybe it's an early morning run and you get to see the sunrise. Just take a moment to appreciate how lucky that you are to be able to train for something like this. Not everybody has the ability physically to practice their fitness in the same way that you do throughout this process. Really, one shift that has helped me throughout this 3-month period, I tried really intentionally to change the story that I was telling myself. Before and during runs, I would just think about how grateful I was to be healthy enough to train for something like this. Like I said, not everybody has the ability to push themselves physically like you may if you're doing this type of challenge. Before my runs, I used to think, oh man, I have to go home and I have to grab my stuff and I have to go to the gym or I have to go for my run. Now I think I'm so lucky that I get to do this. And I know that it doesn't always feel natural to think about it that way, but even if I found myself lying to myself in that moment, it actually did make a big difference throughout my run. So if you're thinking about training for a half marathon, or maybe you're already signed up for one, I hope these tips help you train more confidently and avoid the pitfalls that catch most people off guard. If you found this video to be helpful in any way at all, let me know down in the comments. Do you have a race date set? What are some of the challenges that you've seen as you're getting ready for your first race? What's holding you back from entering your first race? Let me know down in the comments. And if you found this video interesting and valuable and you want to see future content, make sure to hit the like and the subscribe button down below. Thank you and good luck to everybody out there that's running their first race.